me.
That was good.
Oh my God, is he in the room here with us?
I'm afraid he's in the room with me.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another, dare I say, spooky, but also delicious episode of the Sho-Dependent podcast. I always want to say delicious. I don't know why I gravitate towards a delicious episode.
If we're making corn syrup blood, then I guess it could be delicious, or at least sweet.
Or ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but it is another edition, another spooky season episode of the Sho-Dependent podcast. This one's coming to you around Halloween, because Halloween's on what, a Tuesday this year?
It's weird.
Something super fun. I don't know. While I do enjoy that Halloween is always on the 31st, because that feels like a spooky day.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like the fact that it can fall on a Tuesday is a bit of a bummer.
Indeed.
Feels like a weekend holiday, but either way, Sho-Dependent, what is it? We talk about things that we love from our past, how they shaped us into who we are today, and see if whether or not our relationship with that thing has changed. Is it still important in our lives? Or I guess we could also say, is it an ever-present omniscient being chasing us down from city to city, from friend group to friend group, sort of not letting us move past our past? Or is it something that we've largely gotten over and we don't even show up for the 6th installment of it?
Damn.
I mean, we'll have to see what happens on this one. But I don't know if I want to call myself the host.
I think that's fair.
Hey, what's going on? It's the host.
You can be the host.
My name's Eddie. And with me, as always, is my lovely better half. She's the color commentator here.
Chartreuse.
Her name is Kayla. Say hello.
I will always make that joke. Hello, everyone.
Is that a joke from something?
No, I just say it.
Okay. And we teased it at the end of the last episode. We weren't sure if it was going to happen, but surprise. Hold on.
Surprise, Sydney.
Oh, there you go. I was about to do it. Surprise, Sydney. How was that one?
It was decent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, surprise, everyone. We have our good friend Bird back in the stew with us today. He's dare I say, our resident horror expert.
I think that's fair.
Because while we love horror, I would say Bird, he's got that little extra. And he's got the PhD to match. Now, don't look at those credentials, but as I said in the last episode, he brings a sort of gravitas to us that I frankly can't get into, because my opinion is a very base level, like, oh, this is cool.
That's fun.
And then Bird comes in and brings like
analysis
and breaks it down and gives us some metaphors, and I'm just like, all right. But anyways, enough about me talking about him. Bird, what's up? What's happening?
Well, that is quite an introduction. I truly appreciate it. Maybe not PhD, but definitely a graduate degree in horror analysis and criticism.
Hooray!
So I'm excited to continue the tradition of an annual look at an excellent piece of horror.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if it's Halloween, it's got to be Bird.
Caw-caw!
How is everyone doing today, other than, excited for the spookiness, excited, amped up? I'm, watching this movie always pumps me up.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, today I'm just excited. Plus, I don't have to work tomorrow. So I got that little, I took a little day off.
Boost, yeah.
Got a little serotonin boost from knowing I ain't got to go into work. So I'm feeling fantastic. How's the mood in the room?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a busy time of year. I work at a university and everybody's getting ready for enrolling for classes, and we're at midterm season. So, it's definitely a little bit of a hectic time. I got a lot of traveling coming up here, but Lord. It is the most wonderful time of the year in my household, because with Halloween means lots of spookiness, lots of horror, and Halloween party that kind of become an annual tradition. Me and my partner bought a house this year, and
you know what's really scary? A mortgage. Oh my God.
That's true. That'll keep you up at night.
You
But
fucking
yeah,
wake up to a shape in the room. And you're just, oh Jesus! You rip the mask off, and it's just the mortgage behind. It's like,
No.
oh Lord, no!
yeah. That's the night he came home
There you go.
to a mortgage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Halloween is we should get into it, but Halloween has definitely become, I think, a bigger thing for our generation as we've gotten older. Because I think we're the last generation, not to be
That old man in the
millennial
room.
becoming boomer,
Blech.
but we were the last generation. Do you have any spumoni?
Stop
We were
it.
the
Stop.
last. Bert, do you know what spumoni is?
I've heard the term, but I can't
You
say that.
don't know what spumoni is. Okay,
Neither
I
did
didn't know either.
until this one.
So I recently started working in a independent / assisted living facility as a waitress. Spumoni is a kind of ice cream. It's a mixture of chocolate, pistachio, and cherry. And that's what spumoni is. And boy, oh boy, does the silent generation love them some spumoni. It's like
They're also the
favorite...
last generation to remember it.
Yeah, I had never heard of it until I started working there, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is something."
Yeah,
I haven't tasted it yet.
We got to try it one day, but it is just a very funny word that, for some reason, I knew of. I want to say it's like maybe like Looney Tunes or something.
That sounds
put that
right
in my brain, or Animaniacs. Anyways, I don't know. I just feel like millennials, we love Halloween as we've gotten older. We love the ability to dress up, be a little scary, be a little spooky, and just have fun with it. Kids these days, they don't really get down with Halloween the way we do.
No.
That's very sad to hear. I mean, it's so much fun because it's one of the only holidays where there's two equally joyful times in your life to experience it. Like Halloween as a kid, amazing. Being able to trick or treat and dress up and kind of act a fool. It's awesome. And then adult Halloween is even better.
Oh yeah.
And so that makes me really sad that it's not as big anymore. I definitely know that like trick or treating, it seems like, and I understand why. I'm not saying it's necessarily, but like, when I was a kid, like my dad would take me and my sister to go trick or treating. And then when I got a little older, they were just like, you go with your friends and
go on ahead.
Right, go around the neighborhood and everything like that. And now it seems like the move is a lot of like safe harbor Halloween.
Yeah.
So you go to like a school or something and you go to like classroom to classroom. And I get it, like it's supervised, it's safer. I totally understand. It's not the same thing.
It's definitely not. Yeah. And that's like, oh my God. It reminds me of one of the last times I went trick-or-treating. I went pretty late. Like I think I still went when I was like 13 or 14 with my friends. Cause it was, I still have a baby face, so I can pass as pretty young. But
you could go today.
I could. I honestly could. I could probably get away with it.
Put a little M&M costume on, only show your face. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Trick or treat. I mean, yeah, if you cover your face, if it's a full body costume, nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. Can I interject really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a coworker who, for whatever reason, is just obsessed with the idea of dressing up as a crayon.
Interesting.
But last year, and she told me this last year, but then she didn't end up like going out or going to a party or anything. So she just had this costume sitting in her closet, and she never, got to dress up as a crayon.
Aww.
And she has the same dream of dressing up as a crayon for Halloween.
Why is this the obsession?
It's a strange choice, but I think it's hilarious. And
it's
also
cute.
I just want to be able to create what other people want to create. I want to be the facilitator to their dreams as well.
Oh, that's nice.
But speaking about hiding anything behind a mask,
we are covering the 1996 masterpiece from Wes Craven, the one and only Scream.
Woohoo! Or should I say
Absolutely. Written by Kevin Williamson. Wrote that down there.
You mean Buddy wrote that down? Our
Yeah,
head
buddy.
research assistant?
Yeah, he did the research. He found that out for me. A man who also wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I like those movies.
At least the movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I found out was also a book, because
Oh.
everything's apparently a book. But I just have to say, Wes Craven, crazy that that's his name. That man was born for horror.
Mm-hmm.
I love, yeah.
And yeah, 1996 was a time where, we'll get into it more later, but horror was kind of on the rocks a bit. It needed a shot of adrenaline, and here came one or more people shambling around in a little black cloak with a white face costume.
Perfect.
Completely revolutionized the genre and gave it that shot of adrenaline it needed to, I'd say, propel it into the current day, where I think horror probably the most popular it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
There's so much horror coming out, not always for the better, but
true.
We'll get on into that here. We should start at the beginning with our meet cute.
It's a meet cute, baby. It's how we met this thing.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
I think I honestly didn't watch this movie until I started dating you, Eddie.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I
was
raised Mormon. I was and still kind of am. What?
What?
It's true.
I know. It's just very funny.
It's like essentially the same thing in my mind as like being Amish when it comes to media. It's like if it was even slightly raunchy, even some PG-13 stuff, like some of my Mormon friends weren't allowed to watch.
That's too heavy.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I watched this first with you, and I was not scared, but I liked it a lot, which was surprising because I was like, oh, it's a horror movie. I'm going to be afraid. I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be afraid. But I wasn't. And I liked it a lot. And I think it's very, I'm sure we'll get into the details later, but I love how tongue-in-cheek it is. And it's very self-aware, which is one of my favorite qualities about it. And I think the acting's really fun. And we have one of my favorite actors in it that we'll get to talk about. So yeah.
Absolutely. For my part, I would attribute so much of my early horror days, early horror experiences to, I want to say, AMC. That was like the network where they would do all like they do it big for Halloween. I can't remember what they would call it, but yeah, like the marathons. October came around, they would start showing all the classics like Halloween. I'm pretty sure I watched that on there, and I want to say that they also showed Scream on there. If it wasn't AMC, it was like TNT or something. They got the movies, but cable is the first time I watched Scream, and it's just, like you said, the referential stuff, all that stuff. When I first saw it, when I saw it the first time, I was just like, this is the coolest shit ever. Like they know what horror is and they're making fun of it, but also this is a legitimately good horror movie. So I thought it was just like the coolest thing ever. When I was younger, I was definitely that kid who, like, if A24 was big when like I was younger in like middle school, high school, I would have been like pretentious, like that guy who's just like, oh, A24 is smart as fuck, like they know. Like that would have been me, because I was all about like if something referenced something, I fucking
you got all
it.
the illusions.
Yeah, I was like, guess I don't know if you knew. I was fucking that guy.
Cringe.
And I still am a little bit to this day. But saw Scream on TV, cable with commercials, absolutely loved it. And we'll probably do an episode on this other thing later, but I do have to say, Scary Movie also got my love for Scream up a ton more, because as I just said, having something reference something else was like the peak of humor, comedy, and like pretentiousness in my mind as a kid. So being able to see all the allusions to Scream and Scary Movie and all other horror movies, to me, it just made me like Scream that much more. So yeah, we'll break it down into how I feel about it today. But young Eddie, huge fan.
I have like really vivid memories around Scream before I even saw it. I remember being at my grandparents' house. I don't remember how old I was, but I was young. And I mean, this was so long ago that there were like paper TV guides that you would
Ooh,
get monthly,
Mm-hmm.
or at least my grandparents would get monthly.
yeah.
And so I remember I was at their house and it was October, and I remember flipping through the TV guide, and I remember seeing Scream in there, and read the description of it, and the description was enough for me as a little kid to actually be scared. I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's so scary. That's so terrifying.
We could shake it in your boots.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
think I think the description referenced like Drew Barrymore, like
Hmm.
Yeah, she was a huge marketing piece for this film, huh?
well, yes, but like they like mentioned. I mean, they didn't mention Drew Barrymore by name. They mentioned that it was like after a teen is brutally murdered and left hanging with their
Oh yeah.
inside. It was really like
Mm,
descriptive,
Hmm.
and I remember it was just enough to like really scare me as a kid.
that's
I
pretty intense.
Yeah, and I remember also just kind of being obsessed with the mask even before I saw it. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
around, at Halloween time. I remember
Yeah.
like making like my mom and I made these like styrofoam graves as
Hmm.
decorations for
Yeah.
Halloween put in our yard. And I remember I put like "Here Lies Scream," not knowing like
Perfect.
Oh
not
yeah.
knowing that it was called Ghostface
You were
or
a
he was
cool
called
kid.
Ghostface or anything.
Yeah.
Cute.
So I remember just kind of being like oddly obsessed with the movie before I even saw it.
Yeah.
I think I first saw it. I was probably in like middle school, maybe when I finally saw it.
Hmm.
I watched it on Stars.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and it was like a Friday night, like late on a Friday night. I wasn't doing anything. I was at home, and I just happened to see that the movie was on, and I was hooked. I loved it so much. It's at that time, I don't think I was like terrified
Hmm.
by it per se, but it's so good, and it's so
Mm-hmm.
effective. And I think, yeah, I just loved it. I loved everything about it. So yeah, I very much remember being connected to it as a kid, and
Uh-huh.
then once I finally did see it, it was just um yeah, I mean it's a top five all time horror movie for me.
Oh yeah. Easily. I'd say
Yeah,
easily as well.
that definitely reminds me of like when I was younger, because I really didn't have access or any kind of awareness about horror in general, like Michael Myers, Jason, Ghostface, like these staples of horror that we talk about. I had no frame of reference. I just knew they were scary.
Yeah.
They freaked me out. I was like, why is this making me nervous? Something in the collective unconscious was like, you should be afraid of this. And I was like, oh, okay, I will.
Yeah.
I am. I am afraid.
I mean, they're good designs,
Mhm.
And I mean, the ghost face, which they say in the movie, which is fucking wild, but it existed before the movie, right? Which I
Mhm.
think that's a real life thing. I'm correct?
I believe so. So it's like it's a mask that's based off of Edward Munch's The
Right. The
Scream.
Scream. Whoa. How'd they get the
Mm,
name for the movie?
Right, exactly. I do
yo.
think that was very intentional.
That guy's name is Scream.
Right, no, his name is Scream. That's right. Well, where I was thinking about that from was Wu-Tang Clan has Ghostface Killer, and like
Oh,
Ghost,
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang Clan predates Scream by like 10 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
The Scream mask is very ubiquitous. The Ghostface mask. So many fucking, I'm a Mexican man. So many little Mexicans running around with their fucking ghost face masks and all that. And before we get on to getting to know each other, I do have to say this is literally like the only time my brother ever did this to me. But it's funny because this brings it back. Is for some reason my brother being the fucking just random doing dick move that he decided to do. I want to
Mm-hmm.
say I was like 12, and one day I'm sleeping, which is something
Mm-hmm.
I have a tough time doing to begin with. And
Uh-huh.
I just feel like a tap, and I turn around, and everything's pitch black, and Ghostface is in front of me. I'm like, oh, what? I remember like freaking out, like pushing out, like fully like I'm about to die, defensive attack, and then it's just my brother, and he's fucking laughing. I was like, what the fuck? So this is definitely a real life scare for me as well, because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
feel that sort of terror as a young man until that day. And he literally never did anything like that before or since. He just decided to do it one day. And I don't know why, but it was fucking terrifying. So let's get to know some more scares here and really dive into what helped us form this movie into an obsession?
Oh.
Question mark?
Getting to know each other.
Stop it, Billy, would you, all right? I can't take anymore. I'm feeling a little woozy here.
Why don't we start it off by starting at the beginning? Always a natural starting point.
What do you mean?
One of the most iconic horror openings ever. You know, rivals the When a Stranger Calls. That's a very iconic opening. This is just an insane opening to a film. It's very much very famous and been told by every other podcast that's done Scream. But Drew Barrymore, big name, killed off in the opening moments of this film. And I think this is the type of thing you would see as like a short film, this opening, and be like, damn, they could make something out of this. It is just insane how good this fucking opening is.
I remember, I think I showed this in a class once, and there were a couple of people that had never seen it before, and they were very much like terrified because they had no context for what the movie was.
Really?
So like the way that the tension is built, the way that you have her on the phone, we're watching her on the phone, but then she's being watched from the outside. It builds this kind of dread and fear and claustrophobia of like being stuck.
Yeah.
And so it's just such a great opening. And then to that point about it kind of being, you know, iconic by killing off Drew Barrymore at the beginning. Psycho was known for doing something very similar to Janet Leigh, killing her off in the famous shower scene in Psycho. And definitely that was a choice that I think Wes Craven had in mind when he decided to kill off Drew Barrymore early on. And it sets the tone for the movie. It's funny in parts and scary in parts, and yeah, just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's so insane. It almost feels like something that, like, if you stumbled upon it as a kid, you'd be like, huh, oh, look, Drew Barrymore, I know who she is. She does, like, funny things and, like, sweet, lighthearted things. And you just keep watching and all this and that. And then as soon as it takes that turn, which I love how it just does it on a dime, it's just like I want to know who I'm looking at. And the music swells, and your fucking eyes widen and your ears perk up, and you're like, "What the fuck? What do you mean?" Oh, I mean, I want to know who I'm talking to, and you instantly know. Like, if anyone had that happen to them in real life, you would be so fucking scared,
shitting my pants.
What the hell? So I couldn't imagine like kids stumbling upon this and being like, "What is happening right now?" Like. I just love the idea of people just naturally finding these movies, which is kind of like what we did as kids, you know? It's like sitting down and being like, hey, this is on, I'll watch it and see what happens.
Oh, I was going to say the thing that's interesting, because you mentioned the other famous movie that Kevin Williamson was involved with, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
So I Know What You Did Last Summer has some pretty famous names in it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty poorly acted movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun time, but it is not a well acted movie.
No, the bodies fill the spaces that need to be filled. Let's just say that.
Right. This movie is superbly acted on all levels. But I was also going to say, most of these actors were pretty well known from other things too. So like, I mean, obviously Drew Barrymore was the most famous, but Neve Campbell was in Party of Five.
Oh shit!
And then obviously Courtney Cox was in Friends.
She'll be there for you.
Oh, good.
Cat in Ready to Rumble. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we knew him from.
at the time that this came out, this was big budget, big, or not big budget, but like big. The expectation was that this was something where teens knew who these actors were and were going to be
Mhm.
excited to see them,
Yeah.
and including Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
It's such a great opening. I love that they jump right into all of the references that are going
Yeah.
to happen throughout the movie. Talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street. You know,
Uh-huh.
she says, well, and then she says, "Oh, that's your favorite scary movie."
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh yeah, I like that one. It was scary." And then she says, "Well, the first one, the rest sucked,"
Right.
which is a wink, wink inside joke since Wes Craven directed A Nightmare on Elm Street, did not direct the sequel.
Mhm.
He did direct Dream Warriors, but the rest of them he had no involvement with. So, that is obviously a through line throughout the movie, but
Mhm.
jumping into it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's great. I mean, we could spend fucking hours just talking about this beginning scene right here, because it sets the tone. Like another scene, I think you wrote down, perfectly encapsulates the film. So good, but I think we should move on a little bit
Mhm.
and just talk about Ghostface himself, the character of Ghostface, and obviously, through all the years, if you know Scream, there's been many, many different Ghostfaces, but this first one obviously just gives us the framework for everything that's to come.
Mhm.
One thing that I think we all love about Ghostface is that Ghostface is a person,
Yes.
and because they're a person always, they're not perfect. These
No.
motherfuckers fall down, trip, get hit in the head, just take bumps left and right.
Stumbling
And like you'll hear
bumbling.
them go like oof, oof, fucking like grunt and stuff.
Mhm.
It's like my favorite thing ever, because on the one hand it's like comical, but on the
Mhm.
other hand it does like, it shows that like, hey, you're not dealing with like a paranormal creature here. Like
Yeah.
this is not fucking Freddy Krueger. This is not Jason in fucking space just fucking chasing you down the corridors at fucking just walking speed as you're sprinting. Like Ghostface will sprint after you, and he will fall down if you throw shit at him. He will take
Mhm.
damage, and you just never know who the fuck this guy is.
Or a girl.
Oh, hey now.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, the last time we did a podcast, talking about Halloween,
Oh yeah.
we talked about the shape as
Mm.
this kind of like worldly presence. And this is not the shape.
No, 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 no.
And in that first scene, I love like she goes outside and she's looking inside, and you see Ghostface like,
Yeah.
he's like hunched over with like the knife, and he like is rushing. He doesn't know where she is, and you can
Right.
tell.
Yeah.
Whereas like
Mhm.
Michael Myers, you think that he's omnipresent and he always knows where you are.
Oh yeah.
I just love like immediately it's like he's like the Ghostface. I don't know where she is, but
No.
And then he makes like the weird choice, which again, so many people have talked about it. Like, when is it the one guy? When is it the other guy?
Yeah.
We're not really gonna give too much away by saying their names. I don't want to keep a little mystery here.
Oh,
But I just think it's
sweet.
funny to see at the beginning, like, he makes the weird choice to just like headbutt the window and go through it. It's like, what is this guy thinking?
He's wearing a mask.
Like,
he's
this guy,
good. It's
like,
like
he's
a
just
helmet.
operating fully off, like, just like, I don't really know what's going on. I'm just gonna improvise. And they
Mhm.
improvise throughout like the whole film. But yeah, this guy takes a bump first thing. Like, he trips down and falls over. He has to get up. Yeah, this guy he's not Mike Myers. He's not the shape. He can seemingly be handled, but it's just like they have Ghostface, for whatever reason, just wants to keep going. And yeah, you can stop him. But it's also a weird thing. Like, my last thing for this little bit is that they also do a really good job of showing that he's human. And like, he never really, up until like the final like sting, oh, they always come back type thing.
Mhm.
They never really exude like superhuman strength. They're like
No.
otherworldly, like, oh, you shoot them 20 times in the chest and they keep coming. Like, if you shoot them in the chest 20 times, it's not going to get back up.
Yeah.
Unless it's the final. But that's the only time. Other than that, these guys don't really take damage. So
Mhm.
you're dealing with a human here, and that in a way I think is a lot more scary for a lot of people. Is the real life like this could be anyone.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of refreshing to see, and I think it would have been refreshing for people at the time to see that, where they're so used to, at that point, like very established slashers,
Mm-hmm.
and then to see one that is a lot more realistic
Mm-hmm.
and, fallible. I think
Mhm.
it's entertaining.
Well, another thing about Scream, aka Ghostface, but I love the idea that his name is Scream, which is just fucking hilarious. It's like, because that's such a kid thing, you know?
Rest in peace, Scream.
Oh no, it's Scream! Scream's coming! But rest in peace, Scream. Here lies Scream. Father, brother, husband. I mean, Scream has mystery in it. It's the
Mhm.
mystery of who the hell is this and why are they doing this? And I think a thing that I instantly fell in love with was, and I don't know, it's funny because I think I saw a TikTok, someone was talking about how like when they watch like horror movies or mystery movies like this, where it's like, a lot of people kind of pay attention and piece together and try and figure out who it is.
Mhm.
When I first watched this, I had zero like inkling in my mind of like figuring out who it was. I was just
Yeah.
along for the ride. But I love looking back on it as an adult, how like they do such a good job of making everyone just a little sus.
Mhm.
Just a little like, because whenever someone is attacked, no one else is in the room. Everyone else
Mhm.
conveniently is like, oh, I
Off
think I,
camera.
yeah, I think I left my hot dog in the washing machine. Let me go get
Oh.
it. And then just, everyone just leaves for no reason. And then you get attacked. And when the scene's over and fucking Neve, aka Sidney Prescott, is alive and shooken up, all of a sudden everyone comes back and is like, I got my hot dog in my hand. It's soaking wet. It's got
Mhm.
detergent on it. It's like, what happened? What I miss?
Mhm.
It's just, oh, I fucking love how seamless, because you're suspicious of everyone.
Mhm.
If you don't
And
know what's happening, you're suspicious of everyone.
in the words of Randy, everybody is a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
God, Randy.
I love Randy.
Randy's so fucking cool.
If we
But
were to
he's also a
cast
nerd.
if we were to cast Randy out of the three of us, Bird, you are Randy.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but it's
You got
true.
heavy Randy vibes over there.
I love it.
And in
But
a
it's
good way.
true. Yeah, it's always I really like Randy as a character because he is like the intelligent audience member, right? Because he doesn't realize he's a part of the story until it's too late.
Well, he does.
Yeah, because he's
He's
trying
the
to paint himself, right? Because he's trying to pin it on Billy the whole time,
right.
right? Yeah.
And also I'm flattered because I've always wanted to be like Jamie Kennedy. But
Hey, dog. Remember when he had that fucking show? And he was like a rapper?
yeah. Well,
You remember that?
isn't it based off of like Malibu's Most Wanted?
Oh yeah. But I
Yeah.
remember they had like circle, circle, dot, dot. You
I
remember those
got my
songs?
cootie shot. You think that girl is hot? I think I'd rather not.
I downloaded those off of LimeWire
I don't
and
doubt
burnt
that.
them onto a CD. That's how fucking, and it's like, I don't know. Did I enjoy the songs? Yeah. Do I still kind of? Yeah. But also that's pretty cringy
Mm-hmm.
to have that hanging. But anyways.
But yeah, to go back to your point, one scene in particular that I like a lot, and I don't know if it was intent. I mean, I think it was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where Sydney's in the bathroom,
Oh yeah.
like Ghostface or somebody, pranking her as
Mm-hmm.
Ghostface,
Oh yeah.
like comes off like is hiding by standing on like one of the toilets in the stall, and then comes off the toilet, and you see like boots, and then you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
see the the gown or whatever you
Mm-hmm.
call it get put on, and then Sydney runs out, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's this scene later where the sheriff is talking to Dewey, and he looks like smoking a cigarette, and then he throws the cigarette down and he stamps it out, and it goes down, and you see boots
Yeah.
that the same
Mm-hmm.
color.
Right.
And I remember the first time I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, it's the sheriff. And that's how good they were at kind of keeping it a mystery, at least to
Mhm.
me.
Yeah.
That literally everybody, even minor characters, could have been.
It's crazy, and I mean, we can get to the all the characters. We've mentioned some of them by name, but we could just really quickly talk about them and like their role in this, because obviously Randy, he's like the smart guy who like knows he's in a movie but doesn't really know he's in a movie, and he like sort of acts like the audience and be like, I know all these tropes. Because Bert, as you were saying, like by now people have been beaten over the head with like slasher tropes and what
Mhm.
happens, and it was very well established, like the virgin and the final girl and who dies and who doesn't, and all this stuff, all these tropes. And it's just so fun to see the meta of it all and see someone in there who like knows what's going on, actively tries to like figure things out as they're happening, and he still just like doesn't really know what's happening.
Mhm.
Because it's almost like maybe a commentary on the audience themselves would be like, you're not as smart as you think you are. Because everyone's like, oh, if I was in a horror movie, I would survive. It's like, oh, I don't know, maybe. And I think just all these characters are so cool. I remember as a kid, I was like, God, they're all so cool. Look how cool these guys are.
I want to
Rand,
be cool.
yeah, Randy knows his horror. Fucking Stu is over here cracking jokes and
He's the
being an idiot.
weirdest.
For me, Randy and Stu are my favorites. Who are y'all's faves? Who do you like the most? If maybe you had to pick one. If I had to pick one, it'd definitely be Stu. But what are we feeling here?
I mean, there's a big difference between like who I like as a character and who I'm horny for. So
Okay. Well, you could say both.
I love Billy because by
Oh,
God, Jesus Christ.
my guy Skeet.
Sheesh.
Skeet.
Mm-hmm. Scoot.
What a weird name.
Adorable. Fantastic. And he looks great today. He was in Riverdale, which was super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very charming. I don't know. It's hard. I feel like I really like Tatum. Tatum is likable
Hmm.
because I think the nice thing with Tatum is she kind of disrupts that expectation
Hmm.
of like, she's obviously supposed to be the popular, pretty, vapid girl, but she never fully falls into that. Like, she's always really empathetic.
Hmm.
She's dating kind of a dumbass who's not a jock.
Hey.
Like,
Hey.
Stu is not he's not somebody you would point out as an intellectual, but
He's a cool
she's
guy.
she's also very likable, which
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the stereotypes which she was trying to like kind of holding place for tend to not be very enjoyable people. But Tatum's pretty fun. She's very go with the flow. And I love her death. It's very iconic and ridiculous. And she's a cool character. I mean, awesome Sydney. Like, I love our final girl, but
We stand.
we stand Sydney. One of us has her tattooed on their body, so yeah.
Oh yeah. So I wonder how are you feeling about this? Who's your fave?
I mean, yeah, I think Sydney's the best. Sydney is tied with Nancy Thompson in Nightmare on Elm Street as the best final girl, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, uh, because she doesn't follow any of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you can contrast her with Drew Barrymore, Casey Becker,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
the first scene where Casey is kind of like, she's sort of doing like the flirty thing. And then when things start to get scary, she freaks out. And,
Mhm.
and understandably so. Like, they're not trying to say that she's
Yeah.
stupid or anything like that. But Sydney does kind of the opposite. She just immediately pushes back and is like, all right, I'm going to call your bluff. I'm going to go out onto the patio. You can't see me.
The nose picking.
Shouts
Yeah,
out to
like
John Cena.
doing the John Jackson. And then obviously Ghostface comes at her in the house and she immediately is kicking and pushing back. And she punches Gail Weathers when Gail
Love it. Honestly, the
him.
most feminist move of this entire film.
Yeah, just like awesome, haymaker.
Mhm.
It's so
And
good.
I just think that she's got so much. She just brings a lot of gravity to that character, and you care
Hmm.
about Sydney. The best final girl, you're rooting for them to survive,
Yeah.
but you're really rooting for Sydney to survive because not only has she gone through a lot,
Mhm.
but she's making the correct choices.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't hesitate to when she thinks it's Billy, she doesn't hesitate to say, yeah, it was Billy, and like
Mhm.
leads to him going, to jail. And unlike a lot of the other final girls too, like Jamie Lee Curtis
Mhm.
in Halloween, where she's kind of nerdy and shy and reserved, and then
Hmm.
she,
Blossoms. Yeah.
as the movie progresses and in the final like confrontation, that's where she kind of becomes active and you
Mhm.
know
Hmm.
heroic. Sydney is very confident. She's, popular, but she's not like a mean girl or anything like that. So she just seems like a very real person.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I love Sydney. She's my favorite, and yeah, I also Nev Campbell in 1996, like
Hey.
her
Yum.
hairstyle. No, I'm not saying. I mean, yes, she was beautiful
Yes,
at the
yum.
Hey,
Yes,
time.
yum. Always
calm down
yes,
over there.
yum.
That's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm saying that she was so perfectly cast for this movie at that time because like it's iconic, like her holding up the phone, like
Oh.
just everything is like she's just perfectly cast for
Hmm.
this. So they're all great characters though. Like you're not rooting for anybody to die.
Mhm.
And yeah, like Tatum is,
Hmm.
funny, and uh obviously Randy, Stu, and Billy are everybody gets everybody's excellent. It's again,
They
and
all
it's also
shine.
a testament to the acting. These are not like amateurs off the street. Because again, like
No.
to go back to comparing it to Halloween, where like you needed Donald
Oh
Pleasance
yeah, yeah.
in order to give that movie legitimacy and to
Hmm.
really like give a performance. In
Mhm.
this one, everybody is like very comfortable and like knows what they're doing, and
Oh yeah.
so
Oh
that
yeah.
helps the characters really, really thrive.
Yeah. And I think it also really shows because no matter, I mean, one, this film doesn't really have special effects, which I am always a fan of when it comes to horror because for the most part, if you rely on practical effects, it will tend to age better, in my
Oh yeah.
opinion. But I think another awesome thing is that a lot of the time in horror, you can really feel if the cast is enjoying what they're doing
Mhm.
throughout the film. And I think that, I mean, I haven't looked at any behind the scenes stuff or anything, but it seems like everyone on this cast was super happy to be involved in this project, and it shows.
Which is why Scream is so good because it's they know. They know it's ridiculous. They know what's happening. It's not, you know, not anything anyone can prepare for. And even if they are prepared, like Sydney, oh, what did she say? Like a blonde bimbo who runs upstairs instead of going out the front door. It's insulting. And then she's forced to do the exact same thing. And it's like, yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. This movie shows you,
Mm-hmm.
again, as the audience, you're not all that.
No.
I also think I don't know, it's interesting that in this film, we start off with a couple kills, Casey and her boyfriend, and then kind of no one dies for a good while.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's
like,
pretty chill.
they kind of attack Sydney, nothing, she makes it out, and then we get the suspicion. Gail shows up, Dewey's there. Fucking Dewey's hilarious in this. Because
Dewey.
it's I don't know.
Detective
He's
Dewey.
simultaneously
Oh,
like a
Deputy
kid.
Dewey. Sorry.
Yeah. Deputy Dewey, like a kid, but also a man of the law. And I mean, that's just great play right there. But it isn't until is the principal the next person to die?
I think so,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, the
Because
next scene that Ghostface shows up in is at Sydney's house, but
yeah,
Sydney survives after making it. Didn't I mean, I was too young, but like I love to aim 911 calls to
yeah.
things.
I was like, what the fuck?
Didn't know
People
you
don't
could
do
do
that
that.
today, and it's probably so much faster now.
Yeah. After that, yeah, I don't think until it's Principal Henry, like
Oh
played
my
wonderfully
god,
by Henry Winkler. You gotta,
yeah.
He's so cute.
The
He's such a
Fonz?
likable person.
He comes in with this, hey, what's going on, kids?
Hey.
What are you doing? And it's, can we talk about, and I mean, immediately after two of their classmates are murdered wearing
Mhm.
this costume, we got these fucking jackasses
Mhm.
fucking running around the hall in the fucking murder costume. And when the principal, rightfully so, is upset at them, they're like, oh man, it wasn't nothing. I was like, you guys are pieces of shit.
Mhm.
You're fucking disrespectful. I feel like Henry Winkler, for one, this guy just cares about his students.
Mhm.
He didn't deserve to die. And it's kind
No.
of funny to me because I feel like, why did they kill him? Just cuz? Because he's the principal, I guess? Because I don't know. I feel like fucking Billy and Stu never really like showed any inclination. They didn't even mention the principal as like someone that like. So I figured maybe they'd be like, "Oh, he caught us doing this or that or something
Mhm.
like that." Like
Some kind of motive.
an inkling of motive. But then again, not everything needs a motive, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly wonder if it's just a way to feature Henry Winkler a little bit more.
Yeah.
How can we get him in
They
this
said we
film?
got who to be the
Yeah.
principal?
The fucking Fonz is back at it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like he's funny but he's also, you're right, he's acting right by the students. So
Yeah.
he doesn't he does not seem to have any connection to this, and I don't think in any of his sequels
Mm-hmm.
Principal comes up again. But
No. I
yeah,
do think it is very, I think he really is a brief little window into human nature, because when he displays his power, right, it's always for good. But as soon as he closes that door, he puts the mask on.
Yeah.
mm,
People are infatuated with evil. They always have been, and it's a really interesting concept. So to kind of feel like a little bit of that power he knows is wrong, but he
Mhm.
chooses to do it anyway,
Yeah.
which is a really interesting thing if we're looking at it from like an analytical standpoint. And to have him immediately killed for that, essentially, if we were looking at it from a moral standpoint, punishing him for indulging in that is
Mhm.
probably the only reason that is needed to kill him
Yeah.
off.
yeah, I think that's a interesting. Yeah,
Dang, are y'all breaking things down academically right now? Because
this essay.
He's like, I got a degree in education.
I
I could educate you, but I could not
could educate you like the Fonz did, but then I'd be on the chopping block, and I don't want to
Yep.
do that.
Yeah,
But
no.
it is fun to just also briefly mention everyone's a suspect. He was looking a little sus, wielding those
was.
shears,
Mm-hmm.
and then he
Yeah,
puts the
with the
mask on, and then you're like,
scissors, yeah.
was it him? Nope.
Sick.
Nope. This guy gets fucking got, and then seemingly the body's just hidden for a little bit
Mm-hmm.
until they have to do their grand display, which that one I think we can safely say Billy had to do all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't at the party, at the fiesta.
Mm-mm.
Right, and then he shows up. For some reason, that just reminded me. I don't know if you heard this. So this is going back a little bit, but
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore was being interviewed not that
Oh
long,
yeah. Yeah.
and she said like, "Oh, like it's possible that Casey Becker is still alive. Like I could come back in one of these movies." And it's just like there is no
Girl.
How?
character in the history of horror that is more dead than
Yeah.
Casey. This movie doesn't work if Casey Becker is not dead.
Mm-hmm.
And even if she wasn't dead, she's gonna show up in Scream 7, like finally,
Yeah.
like that. She finally makes her reveal like 30 years later. Like
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how clean the kills were for her, and then for the principal. Maybe that's why I thought of it. But
Yeah.
I just heard that, I'm just like, no, you're dead.
You're
Yeah.
dead, honey.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Horror has the trope of no one's ever really dead, just like fucking comics. But when it's as clear as that, yeah, that's
When
so
your
fucking
mom
funny.
screams that hard and that
Yeah.
loud, you're dead.
She's fucking, yeah, she's dead as hell. And I also wonder how the hell they were able to do that so quickly, because what an insane move.
Because I think that both
have
of
the
them were there for
dexterity.
that one.
You think they were both there at the beginning?
That's my theory. That's how I think they managed, but because
Yeah.
it's hard to tell when it's both, when it's one or the other.
Yeah.
But I think it's both for the first, because somebody had to take care of Steve and deal with Casey.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sort of going along here, we can talk more about these characters and what eventually happens, because the mystery's afoot. We only have about 3 deaths. The principal dies. While they do
Only
this,
3.
yeah.
You know.
Which also they do that very nice shot of the Fonz's eyeball, and you can see the ghost face mask in it, and you're like, damn, dog.
Quality.
They're cooking right now.
I was like,
Look at
that'd
them.
be a sick ass tattoo.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You get to have Winkler's eyeball on you and also Ghostface.
Uh-huh. But they get a fucking curfew, which I think is insane. So we get a party. Because obviously kids, they're going to party when they should be taking things serious. Which kind of goes back to my point. Didn't even finish it, but
perfect.
Kids
Excellent
nowadays are much more disrespectful. You know this would be getting memed. This would be on TikTok. You'd have Ghostface fucking, I don't know what the latest TikTok dance is, but you'd have people dressed up as Ghostface being like, who's next? Meanwhile, their fucking best friend just got butchered 2 days ago. It was just nothing serious anymore. So that would be another thing. And I mean, we have Scream in modern day, I guess. I'm getting ahead of myself, but
Old man Eddie is spiraling.
What I'm trying to get to is the party. Everything's converging. What happens?
Well, I think it's weird that Dewey drops off the girls at the party and he actively knows that they're going to drink and he just lets it happen.
Well, and he's like constantly trying to be cool / taken seriously, so he just makes
when I wear my badge,
I'm a man of the law.
Man of the law.
Man of the law. Yeah, he bags Courtney Cox. Like, come on.
And I just think it's so funny. I have to interject because Kayla and I fucking love this line when he first meets Gail, and Gail's like, oh, I'm most popular with men or boys 11 to 24, and he's like, oh, I'm 25. And then at the end, after their great conversation, he's like, oh, and by the way, I was 24 for a whole year. It's just like, fucking Dewey, you're so charming. Look at this guy.
He's just like a beautiful little himbo.
Yeah, he's got that fucking, he's just like a himbo, boyish charm, but he's a man of the law, so he's kind of got some credibility, but also he kind of bumbles things up immediately when it's his time to shine. Anyways, we kind of skipped over the rental scene.
Oh, the video rental store. Yeah. Well, it's great because I got super nostalgic watching that. There really is something missing with not having physical media and then like going physically to the store to rent something. I just have such a visceral, vivid memory.
You can smell it still, right?
You can.
I know exactly what Hollywood video smells like. In my mind, that is locked in my nose forever.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, major video.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it was so much fun to like go in and like browse the different movies, and I feel like even if you rented something that was crappy, there was still like some sense of, all right, we gave it a shot. I feel like now streaming, I mean, you can like tap out if you're like, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. It's so easy for you to like find it. I also find myself just endlessly, and I think this is like a well-established thing, a lot of people just endlessly browse now.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Just to be at the video store, you have to
make a choice.
Yeah. But I just saw that scene and I was like, oh man, like I miss video stores, and I understand like why they don't exist anymore. But I just had so many fond memories, and it seems like it would be such a cool like to have Randy's job. That would be so much fun. Like, watch horror.
Well, because now that like job is taken over by the comment section, right?
Right.
That's essentially who we have to get our advice from, instead of people who prioritize watching films essentially for a living.
Well, and the other thing is, it's not just the comment section. Like it is for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, like the like Shutter. I really want to just hide ratings.
Oh
Like
God,
it
yeah.
has like the skull, like the 5 skulls or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, those
'Cause
are
that
useless to me.
automatically, yeah, like taints your ability
Hmm.
to view it. But I was also going to say, when you went to the video store, you're getting a perspective from somebody who is literally the opposite of a movie critic. It's somebody who is around popular
Hmm.
all the time and is not pretentious, is like the opposite of pretentious. Because I was gonna say the other thing that people use is Rotten Tomatoes, and I fucking hate Rotten
Oh
Tomatoes
my
Hmm.
God, yeah.
so much. It's so stupid. I don't give two fucks about what some horror critic for the New York Times or some movie critic for the New York Times who doesn't think horror is an actual genre,
Hmm.
Yeah.
what they think about the new Exorcist movie or what they
Oh
think
God.
about, you know,
Yeah.
or the opposite. I don't give a shit what they think about like Midsummer or some
Oh my Lord.
up its own
Hmm.
ass A24 film. Uh,
Yeah.
sorry, this is going off the rails here, but
No, no, no. Keep
Old
going.
man ranting
Let's go.
hour.
Let's
I
go
love it.
further off the rails. Let's fucking just steer into it
Yeah.
and
well,
pick up speed because it's just I. This is another reason why we love watching horror movies together is because when you find the people who agree with you and who have the
Hmm.
same taste as you, it's so nice to be able to just fully be like these video store guys where they just they a lot of them had the job because they love movies and they want
Hmm.
to enjoy movies. Where it feels
Yeah.
like so many critics, it's like, do you even enjoy films?
yeah.
Or do you just watch it just to be up your own ass and be like, if this isn't high art, it's not real?
Hmm.
Like Bird said, a lot of people consider horror just to be like nothing. It's
Hmm.
just still the fucking grindhouse schlock. It's not, anything viable. It doesn't do anything for movies as a whole. And it's just so crazy to be like, okay, all these people who don't even like horror, they said they didn't like this horror movie. So I guess I, a horror fan, won't like it either. It's like,
Yeah.
come on,
Hmm.
man. What do I care about what someone rates a movie? You just need to find the people who like the thing that you like, which is what the video stores gave you. It's like, here's a real person. Did they like it? Have I liked the other things that they recommended to me? Yeah, then I'm gonna check this out.
Right.
It's just so much fun to like be amongst the people and get that face to face conversation, feel the passion, and then pick your thing. And also to be under the gun and be like your parents are like, hey, we need to leave in 5 minutes. You need to find a movie. And you're just like, oh yeah, okay, I guess this one because this guy said he really liked it, and I liked the last movie he told me to get. Like that's what it's all about. It's just like word of mouth,
Hmm.
making connections, not Rotten Tomatoes, not
Yeah.
fucking the comment section. Because to talk about that real quick, it's just so many fucking TikToks come across my feed that are like, here are like the best movies on Hulu. And it's just like all movies I've seen and they're all ass. Like, here are the
Hmm.
scariest horror movies. And then it's fucking like Midsommar,
Yeah.
Hereditary. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking jump off a cliff
Hmm.
myself if another person tells me that fucking Midsommar is like the best fucking horror. I'll say it again. Fucking Ari Aster's a hack in my mind. I
Oh,
don't,
Hmm.
fucking, I don't fucking like this guy at all. He makes some ass fucking movies all about fucking just, oh, look at this guy. He looks weird. Is that a naked old person? Isn't that creepy? Get the fuck out of here with your fucking Spirit Halloween headless body floating up into a treehouse. I fucking hate it so much. And I just don't.
Oh my
As
God.
soon as anyone says Midsommar, Hereditary, their favorite horror movies, I know this is not someone that I want to watch horror with.
oh yeah. It's like a movie that I love, Zoolander, which I'm sure the New York Times food critics loved as well.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills when I'm talking to people about movies because I'm just like, did we watch the same thing? This is so ridiculous. This is
Yeah.
not scary. This is, and the problem is Ari Aster has like these kernels of good filmmaking.
Yeah.
The third
Aesthetically, love it.
is excellent. Like the
Mhm.
scene where they're, I mean, I want to go back to talking about the screen, but the
Yeah.
scene
We'll
like
get
where
back there.
they're tripping on mushrooms is
Yeah.
like
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. and then it
I
just
wish the rest of the movie was like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But let's
All
steer
right,
this back on the tracks.
let's take a breath.
Let's fucking just turn hard left back onto the tracks. We're talking about Scream.
Wait, can we gradually get there? Because there is
Oh,
one point
never
that I
mind.
wanted
Steer-
to talk about.
Back off the tracks.
No, we
Okay.
never got back on the right one.
Okay.
I'm gradually getting. We're gonna flip the switch.
We are a train fishtailing on dirt right now. Just
Anyway, real quick, I did want to point something out about specifically both of your interactions with this film, both of your meet cutes specifically.
Yeah.
That does not occur anymore. People do not stumble upon media. You have to actively seek it out, right?
Yeah.
You actively go onto your streaming site, you pick out a show instead of like going through the TV guide and just kind of flipping through your regular channels and seeing what's there. And sometimes watching from the middle because it's already started. You can't rewind. You're like, well, I guess I'll watch this. Yeah, but that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah,
I just thought about that. I was like, yeah, nobody accidentally really watches anything anymore.
Yeah, it's weird. You kind of have to intentionally accidentally encounter something. Yeah. Which is just a bummer. It's the same thing as a video rental store. You just decided to commit to something.
Yep.
And like Bird said, if you didn't like it, well, you got 5 days to return it. You can't, maybe you can try it again tomorrow.
Rewind it. You better rewind it before you bring it back.
VCR? Oh. But video rental store, great scene. Randy, Billy, Stu. This is kind of a scene where a lot of people say it's becoming more obvious who the killers are, right? But again, the acting is so good. We get the breakdown of Billy's kind of weird because this and this, which is like a lot of horror movies. But also, Randy, you're very knowledgeable. And he's like, yeah, I'll be the first to admit I'm a prime suspect. So it's just very fun interplay between these three. Which I think leads us back to the party, back to the finale. The rules. This is where Randy really gives his fucking like breakdown of this is what horror is.
The way that he breaks down the rules. So I think rule number 1 is you can never have sex.
Oh.
Popcorn.
And that is definitely a trope that's talked about endlessly in a lot of horror criticism. A lot of it goes back to Halloween being the first one where, again, Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of like the shy version, and then her 2 very sexually active friends, they are punished, quote unquote, for their vices, which relates then to number 2, which is no drinking or drugs. They all cheers as they're drinking. And by the way, as Randy is saying the rules, there's cutting to Sydney and Billy. About to have sex.
A little bit of the sex.
Just a little bit.
Breaking the
underwear rule.
Yes.
Underwear rule, yeah. And then third, you can never say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be right back. And then Stu says, I'll be right back.
So good. I love Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, masterclass. He's so bought in as just being this like absolute. I mean, I don't want to. We'll get there, but I mean, there's a particular moment where it's like, yeah, you could just believe that this man is insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's fucking crazy. But yes, the rules are just
too much.
It's just so much fun to see. Like, these kids are so cool. They were so cool to me up until a certain point as a kid. And I feel like now as an adult, like this would be a pretty fun hang. Because it's essentially what we do now. What we love doing is hanging out, couple vases, watching a horror movie, just making fun of it, having a laugh, to be British for a second, and just, enjoying ourselves because it's so fun that they went to a party and they're watching Halloween. It's
Yep.
like, these are my people. This is exactly who I want to be with. Until they're like, hey, do you want to go see a dead body? And they're like, fuck yeah, I do. Is it our principal? Even better. Someone I knew.
No.
Let me go see what's happening. You guys are maniacs.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? But it sets the scene so well. And I think it's so fun that while all these, because surprise, surprise, in the final act, Ghostface shows up. A lot more people die.
Mhm.
And while all this is happening, they're able to use the Halloween soundtrack and Halloween like horror cues for the Scream movie. I think is
Mhm.
great. Like they play the little da-da-da when like someone, sees something like, oh shit. And like when Dewey goes in, it's doing the dun 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 dun,
Yep.
just like high
I'm
tension.
afraid.
Dewey doesn't know what's going on. So again, that's just using another horror movie soundtrack as your horror movie soundtrack is just so good, so smart, so fantastic.
There's one particular, we'll talk about it when we get to the end. There's
Mhm.
one particular scene where there's like a very clear reversal of Halloween that is particularly awesome.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. One thing I wanted to mention is so when Dewey and Gail Weathers come into the party,
Mm-hmm.
Gail's
Mhm.
trying to get the story. She's trying to, have like a breaking exclusive eyewitness account.
Yeah.
And she puts the camcorder, like hides it underneath the TV.
Mhm.
And then we get the additional meta thing of
Oh.
that moment where not Randy, I think it's Kenny is the cameraman
Yeah.
Mhm.
car with Sydney, who has, escaped the house, and they're watching the tape delay of the camcorder and seeing Ghostface coming up behind Randy, who's
Mhm.
watching, saying, "Turn around, come on,
Yeah.
Lori, turn around." And then we get them in the truck watching the delay, saying, "Oh my God, kid, turn around, turn around."
Mm-hmm.
Just so much fun.
The layering.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and then you layer it to the actual audience, watching them watch Randy watch Lori and be like, "Hey, Randy, look the fuck out! Like we love you. We don't want you to die, man." Ah, it's so smart. Speaking of another smart scene, Tatum's death.
Ridiculous. Absolutely batshit crazy.
Mm-hmm. And a perfect encapsulation, Bird's word, not mine, because I can't even pronounce it, of Scream.
this scene is great for multiple reasons. One, it starts with the stereotypical, like, oh, there's like a crash and then there's a cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's just the cat.
Dips
And
out.
then Tatum turns around, or she's trying to open the garage door and it doesn't open all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And she like waits for it to go all the way down. She could have easily escaped, but decides not to.
No, you can't do that, man. That's dangerous.
Then she turns around and there's Ghostface. She thinks it's Randy
Yeah.
and does like fun, like a fun little game with him. It's like, oh, do you want to play Psycho Killer?
Yeah.
I be the house victim. I don't want to be in the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's great. And then whenever it's become clear that it's not Randy, that it's somebody else,
Yeah.
and that this person is trying to kill her,
Mm-hmm.
she attempts to escape the garage by climbing out the cat door, which she's too big to go through.
Yeah.
Parts of her are too big.
Right.
Because this
Them
girl is
titties
tiny.
are ridiculous.
That's got to be intentional. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
raw, like just yeah, very very much like
Jesus.
meant to be a little comedic.
Mhm.
Then Ghostface decides, cool, like I'm gonna kill her by raising the garage door. Which I was watching this with my partner last night, and we
Uh-huh.
both were just like, "There's no way that garage that little chain could hold."
No.
Hey, well, we're talking about a lift master, my guy. All right,
Yeah, not a lift
this is
master. Yeah.
this is good technology. You can trust that brand. That brand name. You see what it did to Tatum?
So not only that, so like stuck, then like she's stuck in this thing, wouldn't hold the weight, but then it comes all the way up and then like
Yeah.
cracks her neck, and then there's like
Ugh.
this explosion, and it's just like, and then also I don't know if there's the exact same head tilt as there is in like Halloween, but like Ghostface is kind of like watching it, and then he
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
quietly like closes the door and leaves.
Well,
He's like, well, I did my job.
meanwhile, the cat's looking back like, holy shit,
Yeah,
dude.
watch.
I tried to tell her, but she didn't run out the door quick enough.
But yeah, it's absurd, it's funny, but it is like also like scary. It's everything that you want from Scream.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic scene.
It finally boils down to the final decision reveal of who this Ghostface person is. After the sex scene, we get the beautiful choice where Ghostface comes in. Sydney, after banging Billy, which is interesting, it's like you maybe Sydney talk about this before you have sex with the man.
Maybe.
Now,
I don't
maybe,
know.
but maybe post nut clarity. You know, she had it.
You think she came?
Hey, come on, it's Billy.
Yeah.
That man knows what he's doing.
Does he know where the clitoris is?
Sydney!
Sydney!
I love the way he screams her name. It's so good.
That's
Sydney!
funny.
But yeah, post nut clarity, she's like, you Ghostface, right? And then it's like, no, it's not me. And then Ghostface comes up, stabs his ass. Sydney's like, oh shit, it wasn't him. Running out. We get like everyone who's still alive is here. Dewey gets stabbed in the back. But we get Randy, Stu, running up on Sydney, being like, oh, please help me. Jesus Christ, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's him. She doesn't know who to trust.
Mm-hmm.
But she knows Billy, stumbling down the stairs, bleeding like crazy, isn't Ghostface because he just got stabbed. Gives him the gun. Randy teleports inside. And it's just like, hey, yo, what's happening? He doesn't teleport inside. He goes to the front door, but I digress. He teleports.
Essentially teleporting.
He teleports
I
inside.
teleport into my apartment every day.
And we get the fucking heel turn of all heel turns, where Billy uses the line from Psycho, which he references. We all go a little mad sometimes. Turns around, bop! Randy sells that gunshot like it's a fucking locomotive. This man goes flying through this table. And then we got our hands on our head like, holy shit. How is Billy the killer?
Because he's hot.
Because he's hot. Well, in fact, there's not just one of them. Who's the other killer?
Stu.
There we go. Billy and Stu, two killers, one Ghostface. We're in the kitchen, and we have just, oh my goodness, Billy and Stu here. And I mean, Sydney reacting to all this is amazing as well. Because, again, as Bird said, everyone's acting. But Billy and Stu are fucking acting in this. I absolutely love the way they do the scene. Almost everything they say in this is just so fucking good. So quotable, so memorable. You see it one time, you're going to remember it until your last days. It is just...
Every single, like the intonation. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
You know, asking about the motive. Maybe that's too. I think she wants a motive. So it's just like, again, it's funny, especially Stu. I mean, being hilarious.
Yeah, his fucking ad libs and like one liners. He comes in and it's a surprise, Sydney, and then you just know he's there. The no Sharon Stone thing.
Yeah.
Let's face it, your mom, she's no Sharon Stone. No Sharon Stone. He's fucking spitting.
This one's a screamer.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because it's so well acted and because it's so over the top, you kind of gloss over how dumb the motive is, and I say that like as it's intentionally dumb.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your mom like had an affair with my dad, and then my mommy ran away, and it's like that's your motive for like murdering multiple people, and it kind of is making fun of the fact that it's this man who's like so like insecure and childless
Mm-hmm.
and just wants his mommy
Hmm.
is the killer. And it puts like the really kind of passive role onto the guy, the killer, instead of the person being like passive and kind of like whiny and childish being like the final girl.
Hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lori, and I'm not like insulting Lori, I love Lori.
Lori. Mhm.
But Laurie Strode is like very like passive and like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and all this stuff
She's
and
very much a girl. She is
right
a
and
girl, not a woman. She is a
whereas
girl.
Mm.
Billy is in that moment a boy
Mm-hmm.
like a little boy
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
who's
and
Stu
happy he got
is,
away with it. They're having a little hissy fit. They're
yeah.
excited, but then, things start going wrong.
Yeah, and you know, I was gonna say Stu was also a boy in that moment with like how giddy he is, how fun,
Mm-hmm.
how much fun he's having. Because like Billy gives the motive, and then we have Stu, and Stu's motive, which he kind of like says it as a throwaway thing. He just says like, "Oh, peer pressure," but he says it. This isn't really my motive. This is just what I'm gonna say. Like
yeah
Stu is sort of exhibiting in this the most like I guess you could say psychopathic tendency of like he's just
Mm-hmm.
fucking having fun killing people and like acting out horror movies and going along with his friend and like just being like, you know, boys will be boys. And he just keeps doing it until he's murdering people with his friend. And he's
Mm-hmm.
just not only that, but another boyish thing, which again is played for a laugh, and it is fucking hilarious when Sydney sort of turns the table on them because their grandmaster plan also, which I guess is kind of smart, involves them stabbing each other to look like they were also attacked. They'll blame it on Sydney's dad, yada yada yada. Sydney turns it around on him and says that she already called the cops. And he's like, "Did you really call the cops?" And she says, "Yeah." He's like, "My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me." It's just like, look at this boy. Just like he's also fucking woozy. So maybe
yeah
he's losing
Mm-hmm.
his mind. But God, the way these two break down, they go from like the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. And the way they act, like Stu's like tapping the table, like can't even speak, like a boy, a kid, just like, the gun is not here. What the fuck? It's just such a good, I don't know, it's just so much fun to watch these
well
guys.
Mm-hmm.
another great line in that is Sydney's like you two watch one too many horror movies
Mm-hmm.
and then Billy's like don't you blame the movie Sid, horror movies don't create serial killers, horror movies make serial killers more creative,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which I also think is very much a direct criticism of critics that trash horror and say like this
Mm-hmm.
is just people like promoting like awful things.
Oh
And
yeah.
I probably plugged it the last podcast I was on, but Men, Women, and Chainsaws, which is a great work of horror criticism from the late 90s.
Uh-huh.
Carol Clover, she writes about how she wanted to do this genre study of horror and how like all these like depraved men and boys were going to like watch like women get slaughtered, and that's the book that she planned to watch. But
Mm-hmm.
then as she surveyed people and watched these movies, she realized that her hypothesis was wrong. And
Mm.
that actually people are going and they're rooting for the female final girl. They're rooting for the protagonist. They actually are not going to watch, you know, all of this happen. They're actually going for the opposite. They're going to root for a protagonist like you would in any sort of story that has a hero or main character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of a similar sort of moment here where, Sydney is like playing like this is clearly like the horror movie's fault. And it's like, no, it's not. These two people were already fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
has nothing to do with
Mm-hmm.
like media they've consumed, right? Like, Billy's a baby and Stu's an insane person that is weirdly obsessed with his best friend and will just do whatever he wants.
Sydney's such a good final girl because she's so active and she like actively fights and she like doesn't give up. She outsmarts them, and she uses their own stuff against them.
Yep.
So like
Mhm.
even more show that she's even more in control. You know, like she's actively thinking and outsmarting these boys, these fucking idiots by the end, who are just, they weaken themselves by stabbing each other. They're fucking fumbling around, and they didn't have a plan if anything went wrong.
Yep.
But Neve, she uses their tricks against them. Randy comes back. Gail's there. Sydney's there. They're all around each other. And Randy, being the horror aficionado that he is, I cannot say big words. Horror
That's okay.
aficionado says, you know, there's always one less scare. And we get the only moment where the Ghostface killers are ever sort of supernatural is that final scare, but the bullet through the head definitely put a quick stop to that.
So I want to mention one last thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, you were talking earlier about the movie within the movie, Halloween, happening while all of this is
Oh,
happening.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So to that point where Sydney's kind of portrayed as the anti-Laurie Strode.
Mm-hmm.
So the scene that's happening in the movie as Billy is looking for where Sydney's hiding, because she's taken the voice modulator, and she's, you know, hiding somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So the scene that's happening is the scene in Halloween where Laurie's hiding in the closet, and
Mhm.
Michael Myers is like reaching into the closet to find Laurie.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy actually turns to watch this scene, and he turns, and as he turns, Sydney opens the closet that she's hiding in and scream
Mm-hmm.
and stabs him. So
What a queen.
as the Ghostface killer at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the opposite, right? Whereas Michael Myers is going to find Laurie, Sydney is jumping out of the closet
Mm-hmm.
to basically find / stab Billy,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is great. Also, I love that she dressed up as Ghostface, which was not necessary.
Yeah, she decided to
Not
put
at all.
everything on just to immediately take it off as soon as she stabs someone. But you know, it's fine. She's likes to play it up. She's dramatic. In other, is it the second one, the third one? She's an actor. She does a little stage play. You know.
Oh, that's the second one, yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
No. Yeah. Damn, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that's true. And it's funny that, you know, Billy can't help himself. He's got to look at the movie real quick. He's like, oh, damn, I love this scene. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's a great one.
Oh, damn, for real.
The point about the movie just kind of ending, my
Mhm.
partner she was saying when we watched it last night, she's like, man, they did that in the 90s. Like, they just ended the movie. Like, there's
That's
no,
it.
like, you
That's
know,
true.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, like, we have like 20 endings, or like,
Mhm.
you know, or she would not like that comparison. She loves that movie, but
Oh, yeah.
but like, there's no, we don't need a rah speed. The story's over, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
And
Yeah.
obviously there are sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Scream 2, I'm a fan of. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
Scream 2 a lot. Scream 3 is not a great movie, but it's fun.
Yeah. Not great, but good. I think, you know,
Yeah.
I enjoy that as well.
Scream 4, it's about kind of the same, you know, like, it's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. No, I think they did a good job modernizing it, you know,
Sure.
sort of bringing it. And I was recently seeing that a lot of people are going back to Scream 4 and seeing it as a return to form for the series.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Like, there's some good gravitas to it.
Which is interesting because Scream 5.
And we are in the minority on this.
I know, once again.
It's
Mhm.
I don't I thought it was awful. It was so terrible.
Oh, horrendous. Could not do it. Did not enjoy. And I tried to give it so many chances. I tried to like it. I wanted to like it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just stuff like that is just, it's so hard to just be like, what is everyone else seeing that I'm not seeing? Like, how do I just not like this movie at all, and yet it's apparently fantastic? I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that they took the original premise of being meta way too far. Like
Yeah.
they thought they were being so clever, but they weren't. And it got to the point where it wasn't even like tongue in cheek. It was just like, did you see what we're doing, right? You see what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
Do you get it?
yes,
Turn to the camera. Audience, do you understand what we're
yeah,
doing right now? Do you get the reference?
yeah.
This is a horror movie that knows it's a horror movie.
Oh
You,
boy.
did you understand it?
The only good thing about the fifth one was David Arquette. Dewey was excellent. He was
My
awesome.
guy Dewey.
Yeah, but
What's
other
that?
than that, trash.
Yeah. And they did Dewey dirty in that. And for what? Just the shock, air quotes, shock value of it all. I think it was wasted. No need. And then Scream 6. I know, Bird, I don't think you've watched it yet. However, we did, and they, at least in our opinion, managed to somehow
course correct.
Which is hard when it's the sixth one, but I think it sort of brought things once again back to form. It had a ghost face in it that I think was far more brutal than past ones, but I think it was very good. They did a good job. Not the best, but definitely better than the fifth one.
Yeah,
and they're apparently making a seventh.
What the hell?
I think it's rumored that they're going to make a seventh one.
I mean, horror, that's just the way it is. There's money made.
But I think they're going to do the seventh similar to Halloween Ends, to where it's going to sort of like wrap things up. I think that's the rumor for it. So we'll see. Hey, maybe Casey will be back. She'll be back to she'll stuff those intestines back in her body and, pick herself up by her bootstraps and come back, and she'll get us for one last scream.
Ah!
I will turn it off the second that she
just fucking pull the plug.
No,
just
that ain't happening.
TV, VCR, out of the wall. I'm done with this. There's also the rumor that Stu, because hey, did that TV really kill him?
Now that one I would buy more. Like I again, I still have. There's a lot of plot holes / reasons why I.
Oh yeah.
No.
But I'd buy Stu being alive more than Casey Becker being alive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, shall we wrap things up here? Is there anything else to say?
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
I don't
well,
think so.
Get on down to the DTR. Define this relationship. We met it once upon a time. Now, with our old age, how do we feel about Scream?
I enjoy Ghostface. I think not only are they iconic, but they are also a silly, goofy guy most of the time. And I mean, it's just so fun to get to see how different people interpret Scream, how iconic it is, and just, I don't know. There's something about Ghostface that's just so cute.
Cute.
He's just a cute little guy.
All right.
I love it. And it's spooky. Spooky and cute. Two of my favorite things. So I don't know if I'm necessarily show dependent on Scream. I like it a lot, but it's really hard because unlike you guys, I didn't meet it as a child. So I've never really experienced the actual kind of like fear other than the kind of general unnerving opening of the movie. None of the rest of it's really scary to me. I just see him as a silly, goofy guy that decides to take things way too far.
Silly, goofy guy. He murdered like 7 people.
Yeah, I said he took things too far.
Or they did in cold blood.
Yeah.
I like how you're still treating it as one person. It's still Scream.
Yeah, it's the Scream. Rest in peace.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I mean, I get that. For my part, I mean, similar to Halloween, this for me is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, especially, of an older horror movie, 1996. I think this stands the test of time and will stand the test of time till the end of time. It is such a well done horror film. It came out in the time where it needed to come out to be that breath of fresh air. And it also, when it first came out, didn't do the Scream 5 thing of sort of insulting the audience and like being so hand over fist. Is it hand over fist or ham fisted? Of just be, yes, just what the fuck does that mean anyway?
What does that mean?
I think it just means like you have a big kind of meaty hand.
This boy got a big hand.
So instead of like you don't have like
Instead of having a gentle hand,
yes, exactly.
it's heavy-handed.
Yes, that's another one that we could use. You know, it's not insulting the audience. It came out and said, we're going to laugh along with the audience. We're going to be right there with you. We're going to point out the tropes, but we're going to do it in such a way where we're still going to make a great horror film. The acting, exquisite. Some of my favorite characters in horror all time are in this. Billy and Stu as the killer is just so iconic to me in my life. I love both of these guys, especially Stu. His acting is so over the top and yet still feels grounded. And some of the best lines are in this film. I love the Scream franchise. Scream 5 was a miss, but other than that, I pretty much enjoy all the other ones, even for the schlock of like 3 and 4. But yeah, I'm excited if they're gonna do more. I even liked, we didn't even talk about it, but there's like a Scream TV series that was on MTV, which, you know, it's MTV, but I think it's actually pretty well made. It's kind of like its own thing, and it does the whole Scream mystery horror thing well. So I think even that, you know, the Scream brand even brought me to MTV as an adult of like, hey, let me watch this when I was like 28, 29, and I enjoyed it. So Scream to me, I'm 100% Sho-Dependent. I'll watch any Scream that comes out. I won't exactly like all of them, but I'll watch them.
Yeah, I mean, it still is a top 5 horror movie for me. I couldn't agree more that it just holds up to this day. It seems like there's so many movies and so much media that tries to copy the meta thing. It doesn't work, or at the very least, even when it does work, it doesn't work to the extent that it does to this film. Like I think a good example of like, did you ever see Drag Me to Hell when that came out in like 2009?
Funny enough, I think I saw like the end of it on cable.
Okay.
So stumbled
Yet
upon
again.
it. Yeah.
So Drag Me to Hell's a similar kind of like horror comedic elements. That one I would say is more of a horror comedy than this is.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But
What I saw was very comedy.
Right, but like it still does the winking thing, and it's pretty decent. I like Drag Me to Hell. It's a good movie, but it's not Scream.
No.
So, you know, even when it's done well, it's not done as well as the original, you know, meta horror. It's so excellent. You know, I probably am not I think I am more tied to the original movie than I am to the series. I do really like Scream 2. I really think that's a fun, good movie. But you know, the series itself, I wouldn't say I'm in some ways I kind of get sad whenever I watch a sequel to Scream and I see like
You're like, it's not as good as the original.
Well, I just there's something about Stumacher's house and the whole world of just the original by itself that I kind of don't like.
The bubble that it exists in.
But like when they go to the university, I don't know, it just feels like a completely different thing. And that thing is fine, but it's not magic of the first one. And as opposed to something like Halloween, where I actually do really love the series, even if it gets really kind of off the rails at certain points. So anyhow, the series maybe not so much for me, but the original Scream, absolutely Sho-Dependent on it for sure.
Fantastic. Yeah, man, that's a very good distinction. Yeah. Because I'm in it for the name brand, you in it for the first one, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm in it for the hot guys.
Which I definitely understand. Well, with that being said, first, we have to give a big resounding applause to our buddy, our friend, once again, the horror guy, himself. Bird, thank you so much for being on the podcast again. We hope to have you back, maybe for another non-Halloween one, but we'll definitely have you back, hopefully, in another year. Because once again, if it's Halloween, it's got to be Bird. He's gonna be here to break it down and to give us a little bit more of that academic breakdown for these scenes. Because I hadn't thought about that with the Halloween stuff, the parallel and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here just eating it up. I ain't in the books.
And you don't have
books.
And you ain't gotta be, man. No, you know what? You're right. But either way, thank you, Bird, once again. Very much appreciated. Do you have anything you'd like to say, maybe to the horror community out here who could be listening? What do you got to let them know?
I'm sure something will come to me as soon as I leave. Because I was going to say, like, this isn't even like because I think the last time I recommended Horror in the High Desert, which is excellent, movie, as opposed to, like, I was going to say, oh, you should watch Barbarian, which is not a quiet, like,
No.
Barbarian is like an excellent, excellent movie. No, I don't think I have anything in particular that I want to plug. I am hopeful that the new Fall of the House of Usher series will be good because I really like Mike Flanagan. I didn't love. I didn't really give it a full shot, so maybe I need to watch the whole thing. I didn't really love The Midnight Club.
Neither did we. So
yeah, I don't know. It's a little too like all these plucky kids. I don't know. It's just not my thing.
Fucking kids.
But I mean, the guy who did.
He said plucky, not fucking.
No, I know what I said. And I know what he said too.
Hill House, masterpiece.
Oh.
And the guy who did Midnight Mass, absolute masterpiece. Like, and I still liked the one that's based on Bly Manor, the one that's based off Turn of the Screw. I still liked it, not to the extent of those other two, but I still thought it was good. So, I definitely want to. I'm hopeful that it's good. I like that it's kind of like a new take. I love most Edgar Allan Poe stories, and that's a really good one. So, I don't have anything to plug because I haven't seen it, but
no, but we're hopeful. A hopeful recommendation.
Yes.
Well, Bert, thank you for the recommendation. Thank you for being on the podcast one more time. And if anyone out there enjoyed what you heard, please do us a favor. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Subscribe. Share with your cool friend group that hangs out around the fountain, openly talking about murders and making jokes that are just way too soon to be making jokes about. That, hey, they can follow the Sho-Dependent podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts: Google, Apple, Spotify. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. That is at Sho-Dependent Pod. Once again, at SHO-Dependent Pod. For myself, you can follow me on Twitter, on Twitch, on TikTok, at Victor V. Sweet. And my love, Kayla, where can you be found?
You can find me in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. Hoping to not get murdered. And that's pretty much it. Not doing much, just looking at the wall. And I guess you could also find me on Twitter at PJ Vivich. Next time on the Sho-Dependent podcast, we will be talking about a film I probably haven't seen since I was about 4 years old, but in my mind will stand the test of time and just, bring me all the good / slightly weird feelings that it did as a youth. And that movie is Jim Henson's movie, The Dark Crystal.
Is that what they make?
The Skeksis? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about them.
Fuck! Wait, hit me with the phone, Dick!